Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1.
Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the Schmoes Know, this is Marvel Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the Marvel Universe.
Excelsior to you, our merry Marvelites! Welcome back to our skibbity-bop, scoop, something numbered show of the year. Did you have your,
I'm already messing up.
She's never hosted a show before. She doesn't do this every week.
You come over from DC, you're wearing your Harley
throwing
dress.
Bows.
I've come to sabotage.
You are just like Gertler. Gertler's done the same thing.
Yeah, but on purpose,
The very first
Why
time
do we keep letting this happen? Why don't we get the clue?
We trust DC, then they come on, they do something like this. Anyway, welcome back to our whatever numbered show of the year, 2015, 59 in all. We are the Marvel Movie News, coming to you live from nowhere, where we tell you all the news from all the studios and why you should be as excited as we are. Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News, or find us through the Popcorn Talk Network, YouTube/Popcorn Talk Network. You can also find us through the Popcorn Talks website, PopcornTalkNetwork.com. Follow us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN, or on Facebook /Marvel News Show. And subscribe to us on YouTube so that we can continue to come back and do even bigger and better and more awesome things for you guys. And if you will tweet the link to our show with a message telling people that we're live and they should watch it, Zach in the booth will retweet you. Hello, Zachary.
Hey guys, how you doing?
What up, Zach?
Voice of Doom coming in.
Yeah, Zach Doom, Dr. Zach, Doom Zach.
Zack-a-doom-doom.
Dr. Zach just sounds like an 80s rapper that no one ever discovered. Yo, I'm Dr. Zach! Leaves.
He doesn't drop, like, he, like, trips over himself and, like, spills the mics out of his hand, yeah. Anyway, I'm Matt Key, at the Matt Key, and we've got Coy.
Coy Jandreau, at Coy Jandreau on Twitter and Instagram, which I can't use, but I'm trying. I'm trying real hard.
And we are joined today by the lovely, the wonderful, the saboteur, Roxy Striar. Hello, Roxy.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I swear I'm not actually here to sabotage. I'm here to talk all things Marvel. I just said I'm not here for... God damn it, Zach.
I think he wants sabotage.
Yeah,
whose side are you on, Zach Doom?
Zach Doom.
Yeah, no, I'm really here. I'm so excited. This is the first time I've been on your show.
No, I know, and I don't know why it's taking so long to get you on.
Thank you for the warm welcome, everyone.
No, it is kind of funny though. Like some of the fans like think that we like maybe don't get along and stuff like that, and like
and that's true, but
well, yeah,
there's that.
Just
but...
go with it. Just go with me here. I'm trying to make it sound like we actually do get along.
Oh, sorry. I'm with you now. Okay.
Yeah. No, but we actually all love one another.
No, we really do.
We
absolutely do, and I'm so excited to be here. I liked the comment in the chat earlier that you can't be a fan of both DC and...
I don't know what we're gonna do after the movie comes out in a year. Like,
talk about Doctor Strange 2.
There's a sequel, right? Oh god, there's a sequel. It's like scratch my skin off.
Becomes Dormammu.
We're gonna talk about a little bit about some Punisher quotes that came out this week. Jessica Jones comes out tomorrow. We're gonna talk about that one. We're all excited.
It's not even tomorrow. It's in like 10 hours.
I know.
Yeah.
But we're gonna start everything off with Agent Carter news. Which I'm excited for. So Agent Carter, this week, two things came out for Agent Carter. First of all, we have a premiere date for Agent Carter, and we have the season return date for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agent Carter will come out on January 5th, and I believe that runs for 10 episodes. Zach, do you know if it's 8 or is it 10? I thought it got raised to 10 this season.
I thought it was raised to 10 too.
Yeah, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will then return on March 8th. And Agent Carter will have a 2-hour premiere on January 5th.
I don't know why I didn't think it would be that soon, but I'm really excited Agent Carter's January. Like, that's really...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I thought it'd be later in the year, but I'm really...
I don't either.
November
is... It's a mid-season replacement.
I'm stoked because it gets us by until Deadpool in February. I made it 5 whole minutes without talking about Deadpool.
Wow.
But it's there.
Hey, you know what? You did even better than me. I've mentioned Doctor Strange within the... we're not even on the air for 5 minutes, and I've already talked about it. I've said Doctor Strange like 7 times, so...
If you guys want to play a drinking game at home, Deadpool, Doctor Strange, hammered.
Yep. Already.
All right, here's the deal. I try to wait until I get a lot of reviews on a show before I watch it because I watch so much TV.
Yeah.
But I think because it's coming out January 5th, that gives me the perfect amount of time to binge watch the 8 episodes. And you guys seem to say that it's worth it. So I'm going in.
Is it 10? It's
Oh,
10.
the second one. No, I'm talking about the first
season?
Yeah,
First season,
I didn't
yeah.
watch
First season
it.
is 8.
I
No,
hear
it's
it's
great.
incredible, so I
Well,
guess I'm in.
So from the rumors that I heard were that ABC had their hands a little bit. They were a little bit more hands-on with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. than what Marvel initially pitched them. So like Joss, Jed, and what is it, Marissa Tancheron? I know her last name is Tancheron, Jed's wife. They went in and pitched a show. ABC was like, this is great. Here's how we want to change it. And then the two networks had to work together. Agent Carter came in as a fully developed concept from Marvel, and they said, if you want to do this, it's this way.
Okay.
And that's why I think Agent Carter was received so much.
Fully formed thing. Well, I think
Better,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
you
just
know.
had to like find itself.
It had to find itself a little bit, but I also think there was a little bit more network interference on that than there was on Agent Carter, just from what I've heard.
Is there anything
So-
I need to know? Like, it's great, but... Or it's just great. It's pretty good.
There's like maybe one episode where you're just like, well, that's not a 10.
Okay. Oh, wow. They're all
But,
10s. I'm
yeah,
in.
I mean, like,
Everybody in
it's-
the chat is saying it's great. I'm in.
It's a great show. A very strong female, heroine, which is always good to see. Like, and we need a lot more of that. So, like, it's good. Like, it's good to see those steps being taken on top of it just being like a fantastic show. It's just a really solid show. So yeah, and speaking of Agent Carter, still the trailer came out this week, and it's a lot of fun.
That helps
So,
too. I really
yeah.
liked that trailer. It was a nice little tidbit.
Yeah, and we get to see like Peggy kicking some ass in Los Angeles, and Jarvis is there, and there's some love interests, and yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, you don't really get so much out of the trailer that you're like, here's what we're going to talk about, because we don't know half the characters in there, because probably most of them are made up for the show. But
Oh, see, I don't know that we don't know half the characters. I just figured
well,
you
there
knew all of them.
Nope, I didn't recognize any of them except for Agent Carter and Jarvis. So, but then I only watched it twice. I didn't freeze frame it like I do a lot of other trailers. Not that I'm not
It was.
excited.
I mean, it was a good trailer. I'm excited. I just. I know I'm already gonna watch it, so I tend to not
Yeah,
watch
exactly.
trailers more than once
Exactly.
unless it's something I'm on the fence about.
Yeah.
Or if it's like the most anticipated this year. Like I've watched the Star Wars trailer like too many times, an embarrassing
Yeah.
amount of times.
Yeah.
But like most things, I just okay, I'll see that.
Going along with what you're
so good.
with
More to
your
find
thing
out.
about like not watching more trailers. Like
Right.
I haven't seen, with the exception of accidentally watching a television spot because it was just like, hey, you're watching Hulu. Here's a TV spot for Star Wars.
Right.
I haven't seen anything past the international trailer. I refuse to because I feel like Age of Ultron
Totally
and
ruined for me.
Ant-Man totally were like, hey, you can watch pretty much the entire damn movie.
Would you like to piece together the rest of the movie you haven't seen? Come
Yeah.
pay $14.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm refused. I'm making a rule for myself after the international trailer. Nothing.
I
Yeah.
watch every single trailer there is
So you're
for
the other side.
everything. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody
I was
looks at
that
me
way,
and they say
but-
like, "You're such a millennial." I need to know if it's out there. I'm watching it.
See,
I need to know.
I haven't
everything.
watched anything about Jessica Jones after the Spanish trailer that Cole Badeau sent me.
You are in for a treat.
That's
Oh
what I
my
mean. Like I like to
God.
I like to go in naked. Like I'd like to, and that's
Yeah,
how I'm gonna
you
watch
do.
Jessica
Yeah,
Jones.
you do.
I'm
completely
fully
naked.
clothed all the time.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
I'm a never nude. Thanks, guys.
I like to take Ben Franklin like air baths.
Yeah.
I've been reading about Ben Franklin a lot lately. I've been going through my American history. I have weird choices.
Yeah,
he
very.
took a lot of air baths where he'd open all the windows in his house and sit nude and meditate, and he thought that would cleanse him more spiritually and physically. So try some air baths, guys. Ben Franklin did
I
it.
didn't know that there was a name for that. I just called that being
I just
naked.
being naked. It's a thing. It's
just
spiritual.
being
It's an
naked.
experience. That's how I'm watching
And
Jessica Jones.
I do it outside in the driveway. Neighbors.
That's why I don't
hate
go to
it, but-
Pasadena because it's scary there. There's a lot of Doctor Strange action.
Well, speaking of scary, while we're on the topic of television, all that being said, watch Agent Carter. It's going to be a great show.
I'm in.
I'm saying that to you, but I'm also saying that to all of the fans.
Yeah,
Like, if you're
I'm
on
sold.
the fence for Agent Carter and you trust our opinions in any capacity, watch the hell out of
Before
some
we
Agent
leave
Carter.
Agent Carter, Ethan Rowe wants to know if we think Wizard or Human Torch, like the original OG, will make an appearance.
Oh my God, I would love to see that. You know what I would love to see is an Agents of Atlas. With what's his name? Agent is it Jimmy Woo? I want to say Jimmy Woo, but I'm probably wrong. But and then there was like the gorilla guy and the dude from space. Like I can't remember any of their names.
You're pitching a whole nother show?
No, but like there's an old like 40s and 50s hero like team called the Agents of Atlas. That would fit perfectly in with that show, and I think it's Marvel Man or Marvel Boy. He's got like this spaceship And then there's a robot.
I don't know this side of Marvel.
Oh my
See,
god!
I'm a like.
Well, I can't even say the name, so I apparently don't know it at all.
You get a little taste.
But it's so good, and I would love to see Agent Carter do something with that.
I want more Dum Dum Dugan, man. I love
man.
his character, and I love that actor they cast. So I really
Neil
think
McDonough?
Yeah,
He's
Neil
so
McDonough.
good.
Because I think Neil McDonough 10 years ago would have been a great Captain America.
By the way, he is
I
in
love the idea of
everything.
him. Oh yeah, he's in everything ever.
He is so good. He is in every single thing now.
I love him in Arrow. Like, I hate to bring up DC on a Marvel show.
And in Public Morals right now on TNT, he is crushing. Oh, he is
but
everywhere.
I love him. I saw him at the Cat and the Fiddle a year ago before they shut it down, and I was like, oh, that's Neil McDonough. That's cool. He just played.
Was he in a
Dum Dum.
band?
Nope, he was just like hanging out and getting dinner with his wife and kid.
Oh, I think he
pretty
might
cool.
be in a band. Maybe you saw him.
He probably is. So did we? What was the question?
Wizard, Human Torch. I think they'll get mentioned. I don't think they'll be shown.
Well, I don't know that they could do Human Torch.
OG Human Torch, not Fox's Human Torch.
But even so, I don't know that they could call him Human Torch. I think Fox has the naming rights to the Human Torch.
Probably, and he also looks like a
they
Flaming
could
Guy.
have Jim Hammond. They could
Right.
reference that,
And that would count.
and that would count.
Right.
And that could be interesting, especially if they find a way to link that to Vision, which I don't know how they would. But
In 80 years, something relevant might happen to this character. Yeah, it'd be a stretch. That'd be cool.
yeah, it'd be cool. And then there, Wizard, probably not. I think that would be awesome. I would love to see some of the more Golden Age stuff.
I think
come
the
in.
second season they have more flex, they have more play because they know the show, they got the tone right,
Yeah.
and they have an audience. So now's the time to start like sprinkling
Messing
Easter eggs.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that before we see Wizard, we would see Jim Hammond.
Agreed.
Or what was the name of the doctor that created him? I can't remember. We could have. What are you laughing at?
Why is everybody in the chat saying that Brittany's going to key my car? I don't know why. I don't know what
Laugh
just
Jacket's
happened.
weird in our show. They're great people. Tangents are strong.
It's because we had Audrey Kearns on last week.
Love her.
And Brittany was like, my fiance Brittany was very jealous of the fact that Audrey was sitting next to me. So now you're the female on the show. So
But she's sitting next to me.
I didn't mean
drive
to
a
start
motorcycle.
laughing,
You
but
can't see it.
it was overwhelming the amount of people that were like, "Watch out for your car." So
That's why you're sitting here because it's the we got to keep.
And
a
you don't have to
barrier
worry
I get
because
it.
she's in Reno doing Wizard World. So
You're safe.
You're safe.
Okay.
Unless she flies back right now just to key your car, which she's
like
not going
I
to.
might be okay with. If she did that, I'd be like, "Baller move. You deserve to keep my car." Go ahead. I'll
Key it.
watch.
Just key it. I'll pull up a lawn chair. I'll have a beer. We'll watch. It'll be great. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
Let's move on because I've rambled enough to more television news. Simon Kinberg talked a little bit about Legion this week, which is the upcoming show with Fox. They're still developing it and everything, but he said the TV shows give us an opportunity to go even further, and certainly what I'm seeing on Legion is an intent to do something completely original in the genre. In some ways to sort of blow up the paradigm of comic book or superhero stories and almost do our own Breaking Bad of superhero stories. Like, come on.
You didn't like that comment?
Every buzzword.
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
That's amazing. Like,
hype.
Like, obviously he's selling it. Like, it could be the worst TV show to ever be created. But the fact that they're trying to generate, like, a Breaking Bad of superhero film, like,
I mean, that's high stakes. You don't say Breaking Bad without expecting glory.
Okay, but let's break down what that actually means. When he's talking about that, do you think he's talking about character development, like a man that you love but you hate to love, somebody who does
I hope
something
that's his
bad
pitch
things?
because Legion is such an unlikable,
Right,
likable guy. Especially
exactly.
that miniseries. Have you read X-Men Legacy? There's a miniseries that stars him. He's the protagonist, but he's still so unlikable. You're like, I'm reading this book and I hate this guy, and that's what we're talking about. Like Walter White, that's his character. So if they can stretch out that series ran for 24 issues. They could easily do that serialized as a show. It's basically his personality traits are separated in his mind, and the whole comic takes place in his brain.
Right.
And each of his power sets is another enemy. So he's fighting himself existentially and physically in a comic.
Yeah.
So it's like an existential crisis and a commentary on masculinity and a commentary on like identity while being a mutant book. And if the show's half that.
Right, I know about his
That's my
character,
review.
and I'm super interested in it, but this comment just over the top pushed me. Like, a really great thing. I think he phrased it perfectly. Like, must have rehearsed in the mirror what he was going to say.
Oh, sure. But like,
Yeah.
but like the fact that he said like in some way like to blow up the paradigm of comic books and superhero stories, like they're trying to do something smart and original and new. Like, and that's like I hate to bring it up, but like that's the same thing that like Marvel's trying to do with like Doctor Strange. Like because I've talked to a couple of the concept artists on there that just happen to be friends, and they're like, you've never seen a film like this. Like they're all just like we're concepting for it and we're blown away by what we've seen. Like
So
this is
excited.
ridiculous. So like it feels like superhero films and television are at this place where the audience is saying, yeah, this is awesome, give us more, but like do something different. And I mean, that's what audiences always do, right? So like
that sounds like me. Yep.
Yeah. So like that's what they're having to do, and like, but that pushes the genre and it pushes it in a good way, I think. So I'm excited for it.
Daniel in the chat says Breaking Bad of TV is the same as saying Citizen Kane of movies. So do you guys think that there's any way that this could just be saying like it's top notch, or do you think it is in reference to the storyline? And
Well, I both. I mean, it is a standard, but I also hope it's commentary on this tone and like we're saying, like the type of characters.
Yeah. Well, and like Legion, like in some ways, like his power set is it can lead to some like silly, awkward things. And one of the things that I loved about Breaking Bad was you're like crying over something that Walt and Jesse just did, and then something funny happens.
It's the funniest show. One of the funniest shows. That and Shameless are my comedy.
Like especially like the first like 2 seasons of Breaking Bad, like 3, 4, and 5. Like I actually haven't finished 5, but like season 3 and 4. Dude, I'm doing it, okay? It's an amazing show, and it takes a lot out of me.
It's the best show
It's the best
in the history
show.
of
Like,
time.
Like
I'm doing it.
I just finished season 4.
I've watched season 1 5 times, season 2 4 times, season 3 3 times, season 4
someone's
twice,
got
and season 5
time.
once.
Someone's got time.
Because every time there's a new season, I rewatch the whole thing because
Someone's
it's a
got
great
time.
ride.
It's amazing, and I'm proud of you for that. But I just saw season 4 this week and was like speechless for like an hour.
Yeah.
At the season 4 finale, I just kept looking at Brittany going,
It's damn
I'm
good.
so glad you don't know. I'm so glad you didn't get spoiled. Like the fact that you can enjoy the ride is incredible.
Anytime Breaking Bad is brought up, I'm like, see you,
Good man. I saw
I'm like a horrible person, and I'll ruin it for you on purpose. So we got to move on from the Breaking Bad.
okay.
It's true. Don't do it.
So anyway, we're excited about
I'll bleed
Legion.
it out.
So Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, just a real quick mention, Michael Douglas is negotiating a return. Marvel has apparently contacted him. As he said, I just got a call recently. They want to negotiate for a sequel, and I thought, that's great. Hopefully I don't have to carry quite as much expositional dialogue as the first one, but I had a wonderful time doing it. Just a great, great time.
Why was he only signed on for one movie?
Weird move. Also, Michael Douglas clout. I mean, the fact that they got him for one, maybe that was the only way to get him. Because everyone's afraid of the multi-movie contract.
And the other thing is, it was Ant-Man. Like Marvel, I don't think Marvel knew how it was going to do. I think Marvel wanted it to do well. I think they felt like it could do well. But I feel like it was a surprise that it's done $500 million worldwide.
Absolutely. I just think
so.
There's no way that they didn't say to him, we want you at least for 3 pictures. And
I think they probably opened
They
with that.
wanted,
He was like,
but probably couldn't.
and he was like, yeah, well, I'm Michael Douglas. And they're like, you're right.
That's true.
We're sorry.
Yeah. Shameless name drop forthcoming because I get yelled at for that from you guys. When I ran into Michael Pena, he literally was like a week. I know.
God.
That's why I said it like that because I know
my
how
God.
I know how it sounds. He goes to the coffee place.
Attitude coming off of him.
Yeah,
The sass I get in the internet. Anyway, it was a week before they announced it was coming, and he legitimately didn't know if Ant-Man 2 was going to happen.
Oh, wow.
Because it was like 4 weeks ago, and they announced it 3 or so. And when I ran into him, he's like, yeah, we're just hoping for another one. And he didn't know, and 6 days later, we announced it. So the fact that they were that much in the air, and like Michael Pena's got to come back, is really telling of like the situation. So it's relevant name dropping.
Maybe you're just not as close with him as you think, and he knew and he didn't want to tell you.
Hey, I just met you, Michael Pena, but please tell me your secrets.
Tell me all your secrets. So yeah, but I think it'll be fun to have Hank Pym back in.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I loved his character,
They
and
need to.
I agree. I hope that he doesn't have as much expositional dialogue.
I'm kind of surprised he said that, though, like mid-negotiations.
No, he's Michael Douglas. Like,
Yeah.
That's true. That's
like
true.
I think he's fully aware of.
Don't make me go falling down on you guys, Marvel. Don't make me. I'll do it.
One of my favorite things that with Michael Douglas is when they first had the Ant-Man cast announced at Comic-Con a couple years ago. He came out and he's like, "So I play Hank Pym," and he basically told the plot of the whole like I was like I don't think you're supposed to be saying half those things, Michael Douglas. Like
They're like,
but
we
he was
can't
just like-
fire him, so...
Exactly. So I was like, yay, Michael Douglas. So anyway, that's exciting. Doctor Strange. We do want to talk about this a little bit. Scott Adkins is rumored to have joined the cast. Just rumored. We don't know if it's for sure. But here's my question to you.
It's on his IMDb.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. I don't know if that's anything like, but that's still like, I guess, one more step of confirmation.
It's a thing.
IMDb adds rumors now.
Oh, good.
They don't even hesitate.
Yeah, they
just want hits like anybody else.
Yep.
The internet's just like, please come here.
Thank you, Zachary. Do you guys think he, like, I don't know him well enough. Could he be Iron Fist? Because I've had a few people be like, is he, because he's a martial artist, and he's like,
Right.
and the picture that we have of him, like, shows him being like, look at how I look like a martial artist. That's my impression
I like
of a
that's
martial
his
artist.
inner commentary at
apparently,
all times.
Look at how I look like a martial
I
artist.
will always pose in martial arts.
Here's the honest to God truth. He's in Bourne Ultimatum. He's in Zero Dark 30. He's been in a bunch of things that I've seen, and I don't particularly remember him. That's not a knock on him. It's just that I don't think he's been a big enough character yet for me to be able to make a judgment on that. I hope he's great. I hope he kicks butt if that's what he's doing, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think Iron Fist is the biggest sort of mystery to a lot of Marvel fans right now, especially for Marvel fans of
that's
the
what everybody's
MCU.
lobbying for, yeah.
Is because we'll figure out who Star-Lord's dad is, but we're kind of between Guardian. There's a lot of other stuff going on. I think this is one of the bigger things out there. Who is Iron Fist? How are they going to do Iron Fist? We're all excited for Iron Fist, so that's why I'm bringing it up. Could Scott Adkins do? So here's how it would work. They would be introducing Iron Fist in Doctor Strange.
Right. Exciting. Mystical.
Before he would premiere on Netflix. And that would be the first gigantic cinematic television crossover. And it could help solve some of the issues that Netflix is having with Iron Fist. The tone, the mystical tone, the showing Kunlun and all that other stuff. So
I think it's
taking
smart.
all of that into account, what do you think?
I think it's a smart move. I think it's a great way to set up the tone. I think it's a great way to introduce the character. I think it's a great way to bring the movie to do this, to have Scott Adkins be him.
Or just to have Iron Fist.
I was going to say, I think it's a smart move to have Iron Fist in Doctor Strange, but the fact that Scott Adkins is such an untested, not untested, he's an actor that's been in lots of things. I'm just saying, no one has that direct. I haven't heard one person be Scott Adkins, Iron Fist, and been super zealous. I think he could be good. I haven't seen enough of his work to judge, but I know he's a great martial artist, great fighter. I'd love the actor to be that good to make it more relevant.
Sure.
I'd love Chris Brewster to be Iron Fist. That guy's great. He can do all the moves. I would much rather have them have an actor that people know less and can fight more than get Ryan Phillippe or one of the other rumors that's a big name.
Yeah.
I know Ryan Phillippe is a black belt or some such. I'm just saying I'd love there to be a good stunt guy that is given a chance. So I would love this.
I find it so difficult to cast somebody until you know what capacity you're using them. They don't even know exactly what this character is doing, what the setup is, if this is going to be a movie, a show, whatever. So it's hard for me to be that's a perfect casting about anybody because I don't even know what the job that they're supposed to do is yet.
Yeah.
Which I think the studio probably has trouble with too.
Yeah, no, I think Marvel and Netflix are still trying to figure out what they want to do with Iron Fist. And I to be fair, I'm asking for the opinion, but I really don't think Scott Adkins think so. I think if he, again, it's rumored, I think if he is cast, he's probably sort of like a soldier for the Ancient One. If you've seen the animated series, and there's a couple of comics where they've got the Ancient One, he trains a lot of people in the mystic arts. And part of the mystic art. What are you laughing at?
No, you're great. I read the comments in here. Eon001 says Scott Adkins is legit. He's not that bad of an actor, which to me is not a good selling point. That's what. But I'm listening to you too. I'm multitasking. Women can do that.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
We're good.
I was making sure I hadn't said something silly.
No, of course not. You're incredible. I hope I don't say anything silly.
Roxy, you're silly. So I think it's more likely if he's cast that he's sort of a student of the Ancient One.
Agreed.
And he goes out on missions. If you haven't seen the Doctor Strange animated series, cartoon, it's really good. And there's 3 or 4 students that kind of go out on missions with Wong and Baron Mordo before he turns to defeat these demons that are kind of resurrecting.
I think our official statement is we don't think Scott Adkins is Iron Fist. We think he's in the movie as someone else, but it'd be cool if Iron Fist was in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. And helpful. I think it would help. I think it would help bridge that gap for the Netflix series and sort of
the tone of the whole thing. Because Doctor Strange is gonna be the first thing that's full mystic, full wonky,
Right.
and it's already gonna sell at least as much as Ant-Man. It's already got a built-in audience, which would help the Netflix show's audience.
Yeah, and on top of that, Kunlun. The city that I think it only appears every 10 years, once a decade for a week or something like that.
I lived there once.
Did you really? Oh,
one time.
Just for a week, once a decade.
10 years ago.
I was dating the Steel Serpent. Nice guy, very nice guy.
Very nice. Grammy loved him.
But I think that sort of mystical city would fit right in with, Doctor Strange going to Nepal, Tibet, seeing the Ancient One, all those mystical
even just
realms,
mentioned, in his travels he visited. Because
Yeah.
they
Really
kind of
cool.
mention it in Daredevil. They throw some of the Steel Serpent stuff in. They mention that woman, and to
Madame
me,
Gao.
to me, Madame Gao was from there. Like that's what I inferred, and like they all but said it, or they might have even said it. So I think that's important to start blending those things.
Yeah. I'm excited to see like what they do with it in Jessica Jones, and then like Daredevil season 2. I think is going to be very telling of where they're going with Iron Fist and the rest of the Defenders. I think. So.
Last thing before we move on, I agree. Live chat. I think it's more important to get a good actor that knows martial arts than get a martial artist that will be taught acting, because I think acting is the forefront. I think a stunt guy standing in is way more important. Acting is first and foremost. I'm not saying that. So yeah, acting. Priority.
Yeah, I mean your friend was standing for a stunt.
Yeah, it was the stunt for Daredevil.
Exactly. So
Chris for Iron Fist. But yeah, I just think it's really important to be able to act and do martial arts if possible.
Wait, you're pitching your stunt double friend for Daredevil to be Iron Fist?
Yeah, because he doesn't see his face.
That
Why
is
not?
awesome. That would be so
just
cool.
Bring it all together.
Yeah.
He did that hallway fight scene.
Chris for Iron Fist. I'm
There it is. Chris Brewster. Let's do this, man.
I love it.
So let's move on to Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, not a big thing, but Karen Gillan believes that Nebula and Gamora will have a bit of a stronger story of reconciliation in the sequel. Her exact quote is, "I think what I'm really excited about is delving into the sisterly relationship between Gamora and Nebula. I think we're going to see a little bit more of that, and it's going to be a bit more fleshed out."
I love that.
Oh, I hope so.
I love hearing that.
In the film, I loved seeing that relationship.
Me too.
You know, and I felt sad for it. It was like, I was like, oh, like there's like a connection there that never got resolved.
It might be getting our hopes up, because there's in no way, shape, or form is this a statement from anybody who is 100% sure that's what's going to happen. But I would love to see us go deeper into that relationship. Tonally, I'm not sure how much it's going to fit with the vibe of everything else.
Yeah.
But as a woman who has a sister, I gravitate to that kind of thing. But it was really cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed watching that as well.
No, I mean, she's a villain, like, and I love seeing like a redeemable villain, like, you know, so like, because she was barely a villain, like she was a villain because she was working for the bad guy, but you could tell like she could be good,
in
like
there.
Like there was some like moral ambiguity to her. So like I don't know, I really liked it, and I hope that happens. It's the same thing with Thor and Loki. You always want to see those two like reconcile. Like you're just like,
every commentary,
please,
with Tom Hiddleston, where he's like, well, I don't know if I'm coming back. I don't think it's real, but it makes me sadder every time. Because he's always just like, nobody's called me, and I hope he's lying. But man, it's so hard to hear because he's the best villain by such a landslide. Like,
has to be lying.
Thor 2 was the Loki movie. Like that was so good. Having him like play both sides and be so like manipulative and God of Mischief. I need Loki back.
I agree. Yeah. Incredible. But you really think nobody's called? Nobody's called anything?
Should we call that Tom guy? Nah, he'll figure it out.
You don't call, you don't write.
Just Loki crying with his scepter.
So let's jump over to Fox and let's talk about Gambit real quick. Now, this is something that I know you're excited about, Roxy, and that is that Doug Liman he's all but confirmed to be directing Gambit.
Again, I'm trying not to get my hopes up because I really, really like him. He directed Edge of Tomorrow, which was my favorite action movie of last year. I thought it was
good.
It was really good and surprising because I didn't expect it to be good. And I think I was one of those people who was like, live, die, repeat. What is this? I don't even know that this came in. I've seen it like 400 times. I love it. I'm a huge Bourne Identity fan too. And the fact that he did Swingers, he's got a lot of cred in my book. I think he would be a perfect choice for Gambit.
Oh, I totally agree.
Yeah,
I totally
rock on.
agree. Coy, do you have anything?
I think that the only way that I'm not upset about Rupert Wyatt leaving is him. Because I think Doug Liman's been consistently impressive. I love almost everything he's done. I can't, I'm sure there's something if someone said it that I didn't like, but overall, everything I think of him doing has been incredible. He breaks genres. He redefines things as he does them. Edge of Tomorrow was, I saw a cut of Edge of Tomorrow before it came out, about 6 months before, that was 3 hours and 10 minutes long. And it was such a brilliant movie. It had so much more than even the one that came out had. And that movie was probably my favorite sci-fi film ever. So the fact that Edge of Tomorrow was what it was, I think is a really good testament to what Gambit can be, because if they give him any leash whatsoever, he can make this his. And I disagree with like 98% of fans. I think Gambit's going to be great with Channing Tatum. I'm really excited for Gambit.
I think so too.
I think that stealthy, like sexy heist movie they're pitching, like with, I want to see Magic Mike like stealing stuff. I'm in.
Yeah.
They were really trying to tell us, like, AKA Channing Tatum's gonna have his shirt off quite a bit
the whole time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I can't be mad at that. So I guess I'm in for that.
Well, not only like he'll have his shirt off, but he'll be like twirling his like bow staff around that's glowing like with this awesome purple kinetic
dancing
energy.
with that bow staff.
Oh man.
And Doug Liman has a really unique perspective on things, so I think he'll be able to make that look artsy and cool and sexy and all of that. I'm down for both things.
Like thinking about what thinking about just the massive world building that he did in Edge of Tomorrow, thinking about the wonderful relation, because he did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, didn't he? Like, didn't he direct that?
Yeah.
So thinking about like the wonderful like relationship stuff that he can do with that.
I don't care what he says. The movie's fun.
No, it
What do you
is
mean?
a fun
It's a really
movie.
fun
Like, it's a
movie.
fun movie. And then thinking about like just all the like close up, like just the brutality of the
And he
fights.
did Go.
Yeah, and there's something else I'm forgetting. He's
done so much. He's done a lot, you know. So like he really is like, it would be hard to find a better director to take the Gambit film. Like, I'm like, having him attached has now gotten me from like Gambit's interesting, I'll watch it because it's a Marvel film, to holy what, oh my god, I can't wait for this movie now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And still on with what?
I just found out something even more exciting about him that I can't believe that I'm about to announce this. You guys are gonna make so much fun of me, but I had no idea that he was an EP of the OC, which was one of my favorite shows. I love him so much better now. Even you guys didn't watch the OC?
I saw like the first season.
Okay,
again,
all right.
so, like,
I understand that I just lost all my Marvel street cred. I get it. I'm sure that this chat and everybody's gonna be like, "All right, she liked the OC. It was a good frickin' show. It was sad."
Whoa!
And he was.
Whoa!
We are just conscientious observers. We don't know.
Whoa! I didn't say it was a bad show. It just
I could
for
see
me.
those judgy eyes from my left and right side. I could see it happening.
Whoa! Someone is.
I think it's going to be
sensitive
good.
about
I think
DOC,
Gambit's
yeah.
going to be great.
I think it's well.
I'm in the minority, but I know it's gone through turmoil. I know people get freaked out when things change to this extent, and they should. That's fair. But the team they're assembling is, I think, going to make up for all the fears. And
Yeah.
I think Fox has too much to lose by not making this perfect.
Yeah.
And they're going to throw everything they can.
Which
at it
is
because
why
they
they're
need it.
trying to get it right, you know.
Exactly.
Again, Marvel showed that like you can have a director leave,
Right.
and find a new director and still have a great film. You
Absolutely.
know, so like. Because we had to do that with Ant-Man and Edgar Wright.
I would
so-
rather them lose the director now than have an Edgar Wright situation.
Yeah,
I would rather not have
exactly.
someone get their fingerprints on it and then another director be like, I can kind of put my own. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm
Makes me
stoked.
feel way more comfortable.
Yeah, and so along those same lines, there's also news that I think Simon Kinberg said this, that they're probably going to be pushing the October 7th release date back into 2017 because they're hoping to what?
It's just ridiculous.
Of course they are, because they're not
Oh,
even
it's not
planning.
done in 10 months?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, you're not ready to release this
You
movie?
haven't started shooting, but you're not ready to show it in October? How dare you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what?
Also, they put Alien on that date. They put the new Alien.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
You
they put the
mentioned
new
that.
Ridley Scott
Yeah.
Alien film on that date, which is
So
another
it's-
whole conversation, not
They'll-
for this show.
They'll probably push it back. Yeah,
I'm
so.
pretty sure that they're going to show both of them the same day. Competition for themselves, it's a whole
Yeah.
new level.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
we want to lose our money quicker, let's have two movies come out that are questionably shaping up by our own. Yeah.
I'm in, I'm signing off on it. My stamp of approval.
Well, thank God Fox listens to our show and takes everything we say.
I told you I'm trying to sabotage.
No, oh, you're good. You're good. Get out of here, DC. Still on Gambit, very quickly. Kinberg also said that Gambit will have its own different flavor and tone to it. It will be more like a heist movie and a sexy thriller in a way. So I don't think any of us were expecting anything less, but just to hear like that sort of confirmation and like that's where they're pushing it, like to do like this
Magic Mike meets Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
In.
Gambit.
Dude, I'm a straight dude, but dude, shirtless Channing Tatum's Gambit? Pfft, yeah.
Yeah,
In it.
all day. Wow, you lost.
She's not
it.
even words now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of upset that I just made that noise, but yeah. mhm.
Forever.
She's wording
Another
over there.
stamp of
She's
approval.
wordsing.
Yep.
So still with Fox, let's jump over to X-Men Apocalypse, where Evan Peters promises lots more Quicksilver. In fact, I don't have the exact quote in front of me, but he said that they filmed for 21 days, second unit, just doing his slow motion stuff. Like, that's not including like whatever his other scenes were and stuff
Just
like
second
that.
unit, yeah.
Just the special effects, like running through the kitchen and like making guards punch themselves and like tasting pasta sauce. 21 days of that. I think maybe like the first film did a week of second unit on that one scene. They've done 21 days, which if you do so a blockbuster film is what, 3 months of shooting?
Oh, yeah. An indie is like, I mean, an entire indie film is like 21 days. We were talking about that. Like, that's,
An entire indie film can be shot in 21 days or less. A big budget film is typically no less than 2 months, probably more like 3 months. Like Captain America, Winter Soldier.
Avengers shot for almost a year.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it was like, oh, changing locations. That's how the plan. Give us 2 weeks to get there.
Yeah, but so the point that I'm making is if you take as an average 3 months of shooting, 30% of this film
Yeah.
was spent second unit filming special effects for Quicksilver, which I think is insane. That's
I don't
amazing.
know if I think the shooting schedule is going to be pretty long because I think Days of Future Past was like 5. It was a long shoot schedule. So I think 21 days and also second unit means they didn't need to have Bryan Singer there.
No,
they couldn't have had it to
exactly.
complete the second.
Exactly. But like the fact, like they were
amazing.
shooting that at the same time they were shooting other
Concurrently,
stuff.
yeah.
But like just in terms of scale, 21 days is a lot of shooting.
It's incredible.
They're investing a lot in that, and that makes me really excited and also incredibly surprised that they would give
Really?
21 days to that. Yeah, I'm really surprised.
Well,
but I
it was
love
fan
Vince.
favorite character. I mean, they were
That's
like, this
true.
guy, everyone loved him. Nobody expected to love him. Remember when that came out and they like premiered him in a Carl's Jr. commercial? They had so little faith in Quicksilver. They were like,
know.
how about Carl's Jr. introduces us to one of the favorite mutants? And like, what is that move?
Yeah, I just think it's impressive anytime a studio gives the time that something deserves, and they did. They're giving us the time
And that's
it
why
deserves.
you were surprised
Yeah.
because they gave it that
Because
much
they
time?
give it 21 days, which time is money, and that's expensive, and they're really putting their all into it, clearly. So anybody who's looking at that like, oh, they're putting too much time, no, that's great.
No,
that can only mean great things for us.
Yeah, no, I read that, I was like, I've got to talk about it. We've got to
Yeah,
talk
that's
about this on
super
the
exciting.
show. Like, that's incredible. Like, I'm so much more excited knowing that much went into just his sequences. Like, those sequences will be what? Like, maybe 5 minutes of the film?
Right.
Like, and
21 days.
That's crazy. I'm
so excited.
I'm like, I'm so excited. Like, Fox wins this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Doug Liman possibly directing Channing Tatum in a sexy heist film.
And
Called
Deadpool's new
Gambit.
standee.
Take it and run, man. I didn't put it in the rundown. What is-
Deadpool's got a standee that's him as Santa that says "sit on this" or what is it?
It's in the
think-
movie theaters.
Yeah, there's like some catchphrase on it. I just saw the picture and was super excited, and it's literally like Deadpool with his thumb up with like a Santa hat, like yeah, like that.
Yeah, boy.
I could not be more excited for this movie.
Oh,
It's
man,
shaping
I
up
know.
so
Dude,
good.
It's gonna be so fun.
Yeah, sit on this. Yeah, so it's just like it gets the tone. Even the standees are funny. When your standees are funny, you're doing something right. That's the best Valentine's gift I could ask for. I'm so excited. So yeah, thank you, Fox. Thank you.
So yeah, like Fox just killed it this week. I'm so excited. But so a little bit of rumor control. It was released earlier this week by I think our friends over at Heroic Hollywood said that they had heard from like one of the leaders of the studio where they shot Days of Future Past and Apocalypse that Fox had already scheduled to come back and shoot in 2017 the next X-Men film. Which that was exciting, but then Collider actually got in touch with Bryan Singer or people at Fox, and they're like, "Yeah, no, we haven't closed any deals. We don't even know what the next X-Men movie is really going to be yet."
And then
So,
Heroic Hollywood took it back, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure they did.
They were like, "Our bad."
I actually didn't go back and look at it, but yeah. So we don't. That's actually so. In other words, if you were like, "Oh man, they're shooting the next X-Men film in 2017," and I'm super excited. Don't maybe not be so excited.
Temper that, because unlikely.
There will be another X-Men film coming.
Oh,
We
yeah.
know that because they're doing Gambit. Like
There'll be another 7 X-Men films. They're gonna be making X-Men films after we die.
Yeah.
Fox is like, that's their property. I don't see that.
That's their superhero property. That's all
And
they've
TV
got.
shows, they're going to
And
keep running.
they're
Yeah,
gonna
that
kill it with
Legion show,
TV.
man.
They're gonna kill it with TV. Like
If they give it the right budget, if they give it the proper allocation of funds, because
Sure.
I mean, they've done some messy stuff on TV, and TV is expensive. If you put too much money in the premiere, or if you try to stretch it, like TV can fail so much more easilier, which is a word.
Sure. It is.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Yeah, easilier. I just worry about money on shows. So if
Yeah.
they give it the right amount of money, I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah. So
Easilier.
Jessica Jones. It comes out. Tomorrow. Skibidi-bop-bop-bop. Down.
I'm
Like
ridiculously excited.
Oh, I can't, like,
ridiculously excited.
Thank you. I made it. Thank you for cheering.
She feels like my soul sister.
What?
She just does.
Because she was abused by a
No, she's just,
mutant
like,
who
so-
could make her do whatever he wanted.
No, she's just like
forbidden.
so mad. No, not because of that. She's just like this like dark, twisted, alcoholic woman that I love.
So you're
know
saying
exactly
that you're a
what that says
dark,
about me.
twisted, alcoholic woman.
I didn't say we're twins. She's my soul sister.
Soul sister, like I think that's
Like,
more
I feel
than
for her.
twins.
Like she's my soul sister.
Alright.
And I just love Kristen Ritter. It's gonna be so good. And the clips that they put out, I know that you're trying to avoid them, but oh my god.
Which one?
Well, the one that we just watched together, we were so excited about this.
What the opening titles? Yeah.
But
Oh,
I had a little bit of a qualm with it.
what's your qualm?
The first 15 seconds of music, and then when it ramps up, it's like, I'm into that when they go.
Totally agree.
But like, it was a little slow start. But
What,
the imagery is really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So you like the imagery of the opening sequence?
Totally just hijacked the Jessica Jones conversation. But
But I want you to. I want you to. Like, that's why we have you on the show. We want to talk to you about this stuff.
Thanks.
How do you think? Like, are you excited? You're excited about Kristen Ritter.
Yep. I am. I'm really excited.
What do you think about David Tennant?
Oh, I think that he's going to be great. I think that all the clips that we've seen, the kids are meant to be seen, not heard, and all of that.
Oh,
just
my God.
Oh. Sorry.
No. I'm watching it in 12 hours. I'm stoked with it.
He just seems like so badass.
Yeah.
And everything I've heard about his performance, it would be the shock of the year for me if he wasn't great.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Because I think he's going to be.
If we walk away from this and I'm like, oh, David Tennant could have been better, I'm going to be like, did I just say that?
Right.
Like, yeah.
And I know Zach's a huge fan of his, and he says the same thing, that he thinks he's going to kill it. So I believe him.
Seeing I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show, but we have a website over at Geek Girl Authority. We have an article posted there that has a complete rundown of every single news story with like links to the sources where we found the stories and everything else. And the clips are there for you to watch if you want to go watch them. It's on Geek Girl Authority. If you just like search Marvel Movie News, you'll find us there, and you can watch the clips there. There were 3 clips that came out this week. That one clip with David Tennant as Kilgrave going into that family's apartment, that was enough. Like, if they had just stopped, like the fact that we had like the whole poker scene, whatever,
and getting the kid in the closet, the whole thing.
Oh my God! Like
the poker scene was amazing too.
My favorite thing about the poker scene was David Tennant saying, "Ladies, tell these men that they have balls," and they all go, "You have balls." Like,
See,
it was like,
you have balls.
"You have balls." like there was just like so much difference of like tone in him and how he was like controlling this whole situation, just like hands back, like feet kicked up, just enjoying himself. Like, he's got this, and everyone else is like
just going along,
just like, oh yeah, you want everything? Sure, here it is. Like all of that on top of but like even that, like I almost wish they hadn't even released that, because like the one clip of him going into that family's apartment was so terrifying and it was such a wonderful display of what he can do and what to expect of him. I was like, I'm sold, like, done.
It was so simple,
done.
too.
Yeah.
Like, what's for dinner? And when somebody says, what's for dinner, you think warm, fuzzy. I was like, oh, my God, that just shattered my insides the way he said that. Everybody
because,
doing what he said, like, the compulsion of it. Oh, it was so crazy.
And, like, he said that in answer to, honey, who's this? Oh, what's for dinner? Rack of lamb.
Yeah.
Like, she just, like, clicked.
I'm very picky or whatever. He said, like, I'm judging that.
No, he said, I'm going to be staying for a while. And she's like, oh, well, make yourself at home. Like he didn't even say who. So good, so good.
What's crazy is usually when we have these villains, it's like in their eyes, but we saw the back of his head a lot, and even that I was like, like hard to breathe around him.
Yeah,
scary.
Ethan Rowe wants us to talk about Hellcat a little bit.
He doesn't know who she is?
I assume that, and what we think her context in the show will be. I'm gussing.
Well,
he just said he wants us to talk about her.
Cool. Okay. There was another clip that came out this week, so we can segue into that. Excuse me. That was Jessica Jones, like in sort of like next to the soundboard for Trish Walker while she's apparently doing like a talk show. I guess she does like a radio morning talk show, or she's like a radio psychologist or something like that. And she was talking, and I found this interesting. She was on the phone talking with Jaren Hogarth, who's played by Carrie-Anne Moss, and they're not friends. Like, they're like all the trailers that we've seen, like, and with the fact she's one of the main Marvel like allies to the Heroes for Hire. I thought they would all be in league with each other, but it sounds like they start off probably in the first or second episode at odds with each other, and then they learn to come together.
I love that basic story, though. I love the merging of the characters that aren't.
Yeah. So Trish Walker, at least in the comic books, is Patricia Walker, Patty Walker, originally a character from the 50s, in like one of those like dating comic books from the 50s, like I can't remember, like America's Sweetheart, Patty Walker. I can't remember the title. And then in the 70s, they were like, hey, we want to reincorporate some of these more golden age characters. So they found a way to incorporate her by saying that the comics that were released in the 50s were actually written by Patricia Walker's mother about Patricia Walker, a real character in the Marvel Universe, who then went on to take up the mantle of Hellcat.
Cool.
As like a vigilante named Hellcat. She's like very good at fighting and all this other stuff. I don't know that she's ever had any powers, maybe like in hand, like enhanced strength. I think. I think she like went to space or something. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but yeah. So she's a vigilante named Hellcat, and she's
Ethan, I know you're not dumb. We want to know if he thinks we'll get Hellcat on the show. And yeah, I think we will. I think that'll be a thing that's going to happen.
I think by the end of the series, we will see her fighting.
Yeah, I think it'll be like a good way. I think we need more female heroes in the MCU and the Netflix NCU.
I don't know that she'll adopt the title of Hellcat. I think we'll probably get a joke about it, like,
I think we'll get some
Jesus, Trish, you're such a Hellcat.
Oh.
Something like that. I don't think she'll take up the mantle of Hellcat or even be a vigilante by the end of this series or the season, but I do think there will be nods to her becoming that either like in the Defenders or like a season 2. Like I think we'll get more of her origin, and then we'll see her blossom into a hero like in a future series somewhere. So I think she's going to become someone, just maybe not in this particular season.
Cool. Yeah, agreed.
That's what I think.
We're playing the long game.
Playing the long game.
As they do well on Netflix.
Oh man, Netflix is killing the long game right now. So
do you guys think that she's going to sort of fill the Carol Danvers role from Alias, the sort of that best friend who pushes her?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So what Zach is talking about is I don't think that Marvel Cinematic wanted to introduce Captain Marvel on Netflix, so they probably went back to
which makes sense,
to Marvel Television. We're like, hey, you can't use Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is one of Jessica's best friends in this comic book Alias, and she's like the support group and like trying to pull her back into the Avengers and tries to help her out. And she's just a really good friend.
How ironic that a character that was introduced because they didn't want someone to use that character in the first place can't use her best friend's character because they also want to save that character.
I like it.
It's funny, right?
Yeah, so ironic. What Koi's talking about is Brian Michael Bendis actually wanted to write a book for Spider-Woman, and Marvel Publishing was like, we're kind of let's not do that.
Just hold off.
Just hold off. And he's like, well, I'm going to go create my own thing and show it to you. And they're like, awesome. And that's what he ended up doing with Alias.
And they're like, don't use Captain Marvel, use Hellcat. Like, it's very funny that the synchronicity.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah,
I'm excited. It's in like 12 hours, you guys.
I can't wait.
I wasn't ignoring these guys. I just after Age of Ultron, the last 2 weeks or so, all the TV spots and all the short little things, I just stopped watching because I don't want to. I'd rather be as naked going into it as possible, like Ben Franklin.
I've learned a lot today about you, including the fact that this is your 6-year anniversary in Los Angeles.
Today's my 6 years in LA. Today's
wait, what?
So I moved out to LA in November, and then I went back for like a month for Christmas and like worked a little more. But I landed in LA 6 years ago today.
And not only that, but he landed from, I'm guessing you flew out from Logan because we're both from there.
Yeah, we're from Boston. We found out like an hour ago.
We're the two best friends that anyone could have.
Hi, Boston.
What?
Yeah, so 6 years ago.
Oh my God, that's insane. That's awesome.
It's been a wild ride.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I should have a cake for me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. You didn't tell me. I would have gone to get a cake.
You would have. I could tell.
Birthday cakes.
I would have.
Anniversary cakes.
I
Matt
get
Key rings.
I get
Matt
you.
Cook rings.
Matt Cook. Like I look for excuses to celebrate. I like cupcakes. I like donuts.
6
Is it
years.
not enough for you that we got you beer? God.
I mean, honestly, that's true. Thanks, T.
So also today, and this is also on our the website geekgirlauthority.com, we have the opening titles for Jessica Jones if you want to go watch those.
Right.
We were talking about that earlier. So
I'll see them in 12 hours.
Yeah.
We had a favorite part of the opening titles with the eye.
The eye. Oh, so cool. That eye that you didn't even know was there. And I think AfterBuzz is planning to do a watch along or an after show.
No, they're doing an after show. Yeah. So the first one, they're going to be covering episode 1 and 2 this Monday at 3 p.m. And Zach, who's engineering for us right now, is actually the host of the show, along with some awesome other people. Yeah, it's really cool. They do a great job, and Zach covers most of the Marvel shows anyway, so he's very knowledgeable.
Oh, that's
Definitely
awesome.
Want to check out their after show.
So that's Monday at 3.
Monday at 3. So make sure you watch episode 1 and 2 before then, and then tune into the after show on AfterBuzzTV.com.
Are they going to be doing a weekly show every Monday for just 2 shows?
They're going to be doing a weekly show that they will tell you about when it is after you watch their first and second episode on Monday at 3.
Gotcha. Okay.
We'll be covering episodes up to 4 before Thanksgiving. So
perfect. Wow.
Tune in on Monday and we'll give you more of the schedule then.
All right. So Luke Cage, real quick, was seen just as a dapper dude, like just dressed to the nines. I think we've got pictures to show you, but he was caught on set of his upcoming show, Luke Cage, just looking good. Just wanted to show those pictures off. I mean, he looks. Have you seen those of him?
Dapper AF.
Yeah.
Getty Images.
It's a Getty image, sure, but like...
I really like that someone like a paparazzi is like, no, we might sell this.
Yeah, Getty Images.
I need this for later.
But yeah, he looks good. Like, he looks
chiseled and great.
I cannot wait for Luke to see Luke Cage, like, in Jessica Jones. Like...
Yeah, I can't. I love that the last trailer I saw opened with Luke Cage. I think that's a really great way to show how important he's going to be to the show.
Well, this week, so Jessica Jones is coming out this week. The Daredevil Twitter page released a promo for Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Like we know he's in Jessica Jones, so you kind of have to assume like, maybe that's just for Jessica Jones. But the promo was simply showing the neon sign from Rosie's bar.
Yep.
And then like transitioning over, like panning over to Luke's bar. Mm-hmm. And it's like that to me, like it's so simple, but it's such a statement because it says Luke Cage is like, not only is he a part of Hell's Kitchen, but he owns a bar in Hell's Kitchen. Like he's entrenched in Hell's Kitchen as a business owner, and he's got his own thing coming. Like it's not an exciting teaser to watch, but the statement behind the teaser is very exciting.
I thought it was exciting because I was just sitting there looking at it like, what are they doing? What's going to happen? Oh, that's where we just went. Yeah. So, and it's quick. I'm so excited to see him. I think that he's going to kick butt.
Oh, he's gonna kill. He's gonna kill. Like,
someone said he's the human embodiment of Luke Cage. Like that, Mike Coulter just is Luke Cage, and I couldn't agree more. I'm so excited.
just like looking at him, like. And my mind will be blown when I hear him say "Sweet Christmas." Like when I hear, I'm gonna melt into my chair.
Have you heard that interviewer ask him to say it very roundabout? That was awesome enough.
Oh, that was comicbook.com, I think. That did that. Yeah.
I can't wait to see his chemistry with Kristen Ritter too, and how all of that works. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, we actually talked about that a little bit on the show last week because that final trailer dropped, I believe, last week, and we saw.
Oh please, no pictures, please.
Paparazzi. But we saw that one like sort of shot of them like in the silhouette against the door, and then like on the motorcycle like riding off. Like the chemistry, like just in like quick little moments and stills, is so palpable, and they're like they've nailed it. Like it's done. Like I cannot wait to see all of that unfold.
Tonight we'll see some.
I may have to wait. Brittany's out of town.
Oh, dude. Well, so okay, by the way,
I have to keep my car. She's here.
Oh, she's here. It's cool. Actually, it's a good segue. Next week is Thanksgiving. So we are not going to be on the Marvel Movie News because we will be asleep from tryptophan. So I do believe we'll be back on the following Thursday to discuss Jessica Jones, which gives you 13 days to watch the 13 hours. One hour a day. So it'll probably be spoilerific. Prepare yourself. I'm sorry I won't be here next week, but we have stuffing to attend to.
And we have Twitter, we have Facebook. You can always ask us questions.
Yeah.
And
you're on the social media?
We're on the social media. I will admit I'm in my 30s, so I'm very bad at social media.
Oh, you're great.
But I'm trying to get better. So moving away from Luke Cage very quickly to talk Punisher and Iron Fist very quickly. Joe Quesada, who's the chief creative officer over at Marvel, was interviewed by IGN this week, and they asked him what's the possibility of seeing a Punisher series, and he said, we don't know. We want to see how he does in Daredevil season 2.
It's fair.
But basically his answer was, we're open to it. Like, we want to see how it works, but we're open to it. And we're open to it in my mind means we're thinking through story possibilities. We're probably already like working to develop a season just in case, because they don't want to get a hop right on that. But even more important than that is what he said, but what I can tell you is anyone who is a hardcore Punisher fan is going to be blown away and incredibly satisfied by Bernthal's take on Frank Castle. It's one of those cases where it's the character from the pages come to life. So all of you Punisher fans, I know you're out there. Get ready. Like, that's exciting news. That's very exciting. Like, I'm excited about that.
He scares the living crap out of me in
John
the
Bernthal?
best way possible.
Yeah.
Yes. I have seen in almost everything he's been in. He plays a pretty similar character a lot of the time, and I think he is going to knock this out of the park, and I'm going to be, like, shaking in my little boots.
Yeah. And you do have very tiny boots.
My boots are small.
They are appropriately adjectived.
He's one of my favorite, like, whenever he pops up in a thing, I get really excited. Like, he's one of those actors that I see in a trailer for, like, the 10 seconds they give him, and I'm like, that's what I do. It's really rare to watch trailers in main theaters, because there's all of a sudden these bird sounds. No, but he, like, We Are Your Friends was a very underrated movie that everyone hated, that I liked. # love Zac Efron. But John Bernthal was really good in that, and had this he was a very bad guy, but every time he was on screen, you were like drawn to him, and I think that's a very good tell for his Punisher because that's just how he plays and what he plays.
I think like for me, what did it was like seeing like just that very quick like 30-second sort of thing that they had at New York Comic Con for Daredevil. Where at the very end you see Punisher like just his back walking through a hospital, and then it cuts to black and you just hear him go bang. Like there was like so like whoa, like I can't even wrap my head around that. Like that's like I'm so excited. Like I'm speechless.
So
like there's so much like menace and just like I don't like I just shoot. Or I'm gonna shoot you, or I just shot you, and my response is bang.
Yeah.
Just like. Oh,
I'm so excited.
It's so good.
It's soon, man.
Because like you expect Punisher to be like bang or like loud and mean, and he's just like
no, he's giving him the depth that the character deserves.
So
like,
much control.
You can make Punisher such a bad two-dimensional character so easily. Like he's easily like vigilante, guns, shoots people. No, that's not the Punisher. The fact that they're giving him the depth of giving him an actor of the caliber of Jon Bernthal, and giving him effectively a season to introduce him is it's great. Thank you for doing that, Marvel.
So excited.
He's still stuck in my head from The Walking Dead, and he hasn't been on in years. Like I have nightmares about him, and Fury too. Like he's scary.
Yeah,
scary dude.
Yeah. So let's talk to our fans real quick. Do you have some 5-star reviews, Coy?
I do.
Coy boy.
One moment.
You talk to your fans. So nice.
We try.
We like them. I've been not on the Twitter as much this week. I'm sorry, guys, but I will work on that. But as far as 5-star reviews.
I do want to on our Twitter, Tyler Kelson said it might be worth mentioning the Marvel Superhero HQ has opened at Disneyland. So worth throwing out there. Also, we have a fan named Ryan Howlett, whose Instagram is @RyanHowlett13, and it's Ryan HOWLETT 13, who sent us all these like really awesome like decals.
They're so cool. I took so many for my my house.
We got Spider-Man. We got some more Spider-Man.
Really cool.
We've got some Captain America, and he made all of these. And then he made decals for your lights with Deadpool. And
Shane Deadpool.
Some Misty Knight action, like not only Misty Knight, but Misty Knight kicking ass.
Yeah.
Like we got some Misty Knight, and I can only imagine this was just for me.
So good.
Some Doctor Strange. It's a light decal for your light switch, and it's just
because you are the only one who likes Doctor Strange.
I am the only one, and then Marvel movies.
I like Matt showed me Doctor Strange, man, and I am that
new
book.
Honestly, that new book is so
my
good.
favorite book of the all new, all different.
So good. I'm getting that from a lot of fans. And by the way, when you tweet stuff at me about the comic books that you're reading, I'm a fan of the movies, but I'm a fan of the movies because of how much I love the comics, and we're both the same way, Coy.
Absolutely.
And Roxy. So like, it's exciting when we see that kind of stuff because we want you guys to love the comic books as much as we do.
I'm in a weird way with the comics where everything that I collect, because I consider myself a collector, I have way too many comics. Everything I collect, I'm not enjoying as much as the books that are more fun. Like I don't buy Doctor Strange and Iron Man, like I'd read them digitally, and they're my favorite books. But like you guys know, I'm not a big fan of the new Spider-Man, so it's really weird to be like going to the store and reading everything. But the books I'm buying, like hard copies of, I'm like. So Doctor Strange, my favorite thing, man, and Iron Man's really close second. They're so good.
Yeah, they're so good. 5 stars.
5 stars. We got. I think I might have done this in last week. It's on the cusp. APEC80 drives all the time and likes us to get him going. It's awesome. Stetson is always in the live chat. Stetson left us a 5-star review, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
Action Hero 321. Thanks. These are all like longer than normal, and I appreciate it because the more you guys give us, the more we can work on it. Ivy Vine 14, thank you very much. And lastly, this one is my favorite name of the week, Mr. Tom Morrow. I'm always a fan of silly names. It's a thing for me. I enjoy saying
Wait, is it Tom Morrow or is it
Mr. Tom Morrow?
Because that's
no, there's 2 M's. No. It's Tom Morrow.
Okay.
And he likes us because he can chat with people like water cooler style and keep up because of us giving him all
that's awesome. Well, that's our goal.
Stuff.
That's our goal every time.
We can make fans of y'all.
I think there was a dude who tweeted at us that he I think delivers pizzas and he listens to our
that's awesome
podcast, and I forgot. I'm so sorry. I'll find you and I'll write you down and I'll mention you on next week's show. But I thought that was great. Like I show
that's so cool.
I show those anytime I get something like that. I show it to Brittany if I'm with her. I'm like, hey, we got what our fans do.
Well, Action Hero works at an animal shelter and has named their animals after Marvel stuff. Thanks to us, which is really
that's
cool.
Awesome.
A chubby yellow lab named Cosmo.
Yes!
A sweet muscular pit bull named Thor, a black a-hole cat named Loki, and a parakeet named Howard because they don't have any ducks. So I wanted to share that love. And right? How amazing
that
is
is
that?
awesome!
I love these. And Stetson was very thorough in the love and said that basically we help him be a better comic fan, and he wants to be a guest on the show. So I appreciate you guys.
in California?
If you're in California, hit us
Honestly,
up on Facebook.
any of you fans that are in Los Angeles, hit us up. If we can schedule you in, we will.
Yeah, so I wanted to share that love.
Yeah.
I love it.
That'd be cool. Cosmic Couch,
we
man.
love our fans.
Yeah,
we
you guys
love
are
our
great.
fans. Reframed Live, I don't fully understand this, but they said, we synced the live stream you tweeted to the hashtag Marvel Movie News. You can watch it here. So I think they're retweeting it. I just saw that. I don't fully understand what they're saying, but
I don't know what this means because I don't understand social media, but that's fine.
no, exactly. And there was at Ragnarockinit asked us a question, and I want to pose it to you guys. Spielberg for Fantastic Four or Tarantino doing Moon Knight? Which film would you prefer to see? Like, apparently he's in a debate with a friend. I don't know which side he's on. I put a poll up. It's up on our Twitter page, our Marvel Movie News
I think
Twitter.
Tarantino
with Moon Knight? Okay.
I feel like Tarantino might make Moon Knight too Tarantino-y. I feel like he might make it not Moon Knight because he's got such a specific flavor. He might overpower the importance of Moon Knight's specific character.
He might, but I don't know if I can sit through Fantastic Four Spielberg right now. I'm not ready
He's
for
so
it.
good at wholesome and charming
Do
and
you
loving.
mean because Fantastic Four this past summer was so bad? You're just like,
No, I need a minute to breathe from Fantastic Four.
Sure.
And like the 7 years wasn't enough, I guess. I needed a little bit. I love Spielberg.
Like E.T. and like Indiana Jones, like he's got such heart for that exact genre.
Right, but
Yeah.
I think if this is like, what would you rather see tomorrow?
Oh, okay. Tomorrow, Tarantino. Long-term, Spielberg for
Yeah,
me.
I'm with
I
you.
would say the exact same thing.
Okay, so
Oh
if
my
it's
God, we're all on
tomorrow,
the same page.
Yeah.
Team.
Team.
Yeah.
So there's your answer at Ragnarockinit, which is a cool name, by the way. At Ragnarockinit.
Yeah.
I would say, like, if I could only choose one, though, Spielberg Fantastic Four, because I've got a soft spot for Reed Richards. And I want to see Fantastic Four done right so bad. I think Tarantino would kill Moon Knight. He would be amazing at Moon Knight, and I would love to see that film. But if I can only choose one, I'm Spielberg Fantastic Four, but like 2020, not like next year.
Jay in the chat did the best job describing Fantastic Four that I've heard so far. He says, was a turd in a punch bowl.
Wow.
Which I think pretty accurately
Yeah.
depicts how I'm
Yeah,
feeling.
I totally agree. That movie was so frustrating because the first act was so fun, and then it was like 1 year later, and you're like, "Oh, come on!
What is
Come
this?
on!"
I would say I always go Fincher, but I think Fincher's Moon Knight would
Oh.
be because you'd
I love
have
Fincher.
like the schizophrenia, you'd have the layers
Oh
of
my
like
God, you're right.
psychoanalyzing, but also he's great at shooting action. I think Fincher.
Oh yeah, he
Fincher
would
Moon Knight.
get that like psychological thriller.
Right, it'd
aspect
be
of it
like the
really
game
well.
with Moon Knight.
And isn't Tarantino only doing a certain amount of more films? Like,
I don't know.
two more
Whatever.
or
I don't
something
know.
than he's done?
I don't know. Let's talk comics real quick.
Right before comics, last shout
Okay,
out. The awesome teacher that uses us in his curriculum just
Yeah!
tweeted me literally 5 minutes
That's
ago. Just
awesome.
tweeted me. Colt Badeau made his flyers for enrollment next semester. So
No,
I
that's
would just like to
awesome!
say that we caused a crossover between Colt Badeau and a teacher, and we had a teacher that uses us in his curriculum and uses comics in his day-to-day curriculum.
I got that. That's amazing.
And that's down at Long Beach. And then Colt Badeau is one of our most vocal, awesome fans, and he made this teacher his flyer for his
Dude,
curriculum.
the teachers in Long Beach.
Yeah, the teacher's in Long Beach.
Dude, what's his name? We should have him on our show.
Nicholas Carbonaro, you are welcome, sir.
Dude, Nicholas Carbonaro, contact us. Let us know when you're free. Maybe we can get you on in January.
Sounds like a... Is that a pasta sauce?
I do think he
Why are you
enjoys-
making fun of our fans?
I'm
You are
not.
sabotaging our show.
He is, DC is just in here swinging bows.
Excuse me, calling something a pasta sauce is a compliment. Who doesn't like pasta sauce?
That's true. That's true.
Do you have something bad to say about pasta sauce? Maybe you're making fun of your fan.
I love
It got real in here, you
You
guys.
just became like the anteater. Like, who doesn't like pasta sauce?
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like an Italian grandma. Like, you like pasta sauce?
No,
got a problem?
you know
That was just
that
inside
cartoon
me.
character. I can't remember the anteater's name, but he was I'm an anteater. Who doesn't like pasta sauce?
sauce?
Who doesn't like pasta sauce? Like, it's a good impression if that's what you're going for. So
There's gonna be some weird fan art this week for that.
a lot of crazy stuff. But yeah, so Colt and Nicholas, that's dude.
that's
yes,
the best. That's the best. Colt's great.
killing it.
Colt, by the way, I forgot to give a shout out to you last week. I was wearing your Doctor Strange shirt. So
Colt is like the 5th person on the show. Like
He kind of is.
We have like 4 and then Colt. Like
Yeah.
he's got like a presence.
he does. He does.
Thanks, man.
So let's talk comics real quick. We're a little over an hour, so we can't talk long. What did you from the last couple weeks, Coy? What would you say?
I need to pull it up. So talk about what you like.
For Mighty Thor this week, the Mighty Thor #1 was I loved it. I freaking loved it. It's still following the adventures of Thor in her the female incarnation of Thor, who we all now know. Spoiler alert is Jane Foster, who's but this week's issue really explained why being Thor is actually having an adverse effect on her and slowly killing her. So she explained that, which was great. Plus, like, there's just so much mythic world building that happened in this one book with like the Congress of like Worlds and all this. Like, it was amazing and large scale and awesome. And there's like the War of Realms. So like Svartalheim is fighting like Niflheim and Muspelheim. Like all these realms are fighting. I'm so excited for it. Star-Lord was interesting. Star-Lord #1 was interesting.
That doesn't sound good.
You never use that word well. It's like we need to talk.
I don't. I'm on board, and I can't wait to see what like the next few issues do with it.
You don't know where they're going, but
Because
you're along for the ride.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm on board. I like the character, but it feels like they're doing sort of like a prequel to him, but like they're also introducing technology that's never existed in the Marvel universe in terms of like interstellar, like travel and stuff like that. So I'm like, is this in the past? Is this in the future? Is this an alternate timeline? Like, so I'm a little fuzzy on like the location of the narrative. But the narrative itself was great, and they're kind of like recreating Star-Lord for this like post-battle world sort of Marvel universe, which is exciting. Uncanny Inhumans #2 came out this week. Really fun read. It with a great reveal at the end, by the way. I won't say anything, but I was like, whoa! And then Extraordinary X-Men #2. It's fun. Like that's all I've had the time to read this week in terms of like newer stuff.
Oh, that's all.
Oh, Miss Marvel #1. Whoa, that was a good book too. That was a great book. I mean, you can't go wrong with Ms. Marvel. Like G. Willow Wilson is killing that title.
On Saturday, I read comics for 4 hours because I finally had time to read comics. It was the first time in November I've had time to read comics. So, the last 2 weeks of comics.
Happy Saturday.
Extraordinary. It was great. I loved it. Extraordinary X-Men #1, I gave a C+. I dug. I mean, it was above average, but, you know, it was a book. I can see where it's going. I'm excited for where it's going. Uncanny X-Men 600, I'm glad that finally got wrapped up. Gave it the love deserved. A lot of people didn't like it, but I really liked the ways it was able to tie up a lot of loose ends. It was weird that it came after Secret War, but I really liked it. Liked the art.
And how, like, Iceman, like the 616, the main line Iceman, not the alternate universe Iceman, came out of the closet. He's like, nope, I'm gay.
That's
I'm gay. Like, that's awesome.
Things tied together really well.
Thank God we finally have stuff like that happening.
It was really handled well.
Yeah. And it wasn't like it didn't beat you over the head. It was like handled in a very real,
wasn't like the
earnest
cover
way.
where it was like, look, we're trying to sell this book.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of buried inside of the narrative, and they just wrapped it up, and it's like, oh, cool, okay, so Iceman's gay. Great, okay, cool.
Good.
Moving on. That's
and
awesome.
And now the action stuff.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It was just Amazing Spider-Man 3, you know my thoughts. I try not to be negative. Deadpool #1, I liked. I don't know if I'm gonna like it as much as the last run. I really enjoyed it. I think it'll be a book that I enjoy as a 6-issue arc versus just one at a time. Contest of Champions 2 surprised me, B-. I liked it more than I expected. Doctor Strange 2, A, it's my favorite book out right now. Doctor Strange 2 is incredible.
Aaron, man.
Like, just so good.
I want to kiss that man's beard.
Drax #1, I was surprised CM Punk made a fun book. Like, it was a fun book. It was good, yeah, so CM Punk writing comics.
It was a fun book.
Invincible Iron Man #3, A-, just after Doctor Strange, right there. Spider-Gwen was my big disappointment. I actually gave Spider-Gwen a C-.
I'm not on board for
Did not
Spider-Gwen
enjoy
yet.
that like I expected. Vision #1, A-. Crazy book. Ominous.
Crazy.
Didn't know where I was going with that.
If you want to read a comic book that's doing something
just
completely
something
different,
funky.
Read Vision.
Yeah, because it's like Orwellian, but also it's crazy. I probably used Orwellian wrong. I'm sorry, literature folk. Carnage #1, B+. Big surprise. Eddie Brock, Carnage, all my like 90s Spider-Man stees in a book.
That's fun.
Spidey, awesome. Spider-Gwen 2, D+. Still in that. Hawkeye #1, B+. Surprised. Really liked it. Liked their element. Liked them tying together. James Bond, not Marvel. Fun book.
Yeah.
C-. books, slightly below average. Ultimates number 1. B. I liked it better than Spider-Verse.
Which one?
Ultimates number 1.
Oh, dude, I
science
loved
book?
Ultimates.
You
yeah.
did this in 4 hours?
Yeah, I got a problem.
I'm impressed.
I've only got 2 books left.
Hector wasn't on board for
I liked the
issue
science.
by issue Ultimates, but I loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Can't wait for the next one. It
Yeah.
was so smart, and it really, I think, ties in Secret Wars more than most books.
Yeah.
Because it shows where it's going, and I love the world building. And the
But
last
you know,
book-
Jack Conway, our good friend,
Yeah.
I don't think he
him.
also cared, right?
Yeah.
I liked
I don't
it a
think
lot.
he cared for Ultimates either.
I didn't think I'd like it, and I did.
Oh, I knew I would love it. I
Yeah.
knew I would love it. Like from the first page, I was like, "Oh, we've got the Blue Marvel talking science.
Let's do it.
Oh my god,
Black
I'm so on
Panther's
board.
awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
can't wait.
the last page with spoiler alert,
Yeah,
Galactus. Oh, pfft.
Yeah, yeah.
And the last book I read last week, on Saturday, is Web Warriors number 1, which I actually liked more than Spider-Verse. It was
great.
really cool because it's what I wanted Spider-Verse to be, and it's a culmination of all that stuff. And I'm not big on Spider-Verse, but I really liked that book because I like that Spider-Man's here and Spider-Verse is here now.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted that to be. Really excited. Next week, I'll have this week's books.
Great. Okay. Well, Roxy, you are doing a lot of stuff right now. What shows are you doing with Pop? Because this is us wrapping up.
Yeah.
We're at an hour 10.
Oh wow, sorry.
So-
I hope
no,
I didn't
no,
do
no,
that.
no, no.
Well, I'm here right now, and then I do DC movie news after this.
That's in 10 minutes.
Yeah, which is in 10 minutes. I'm over at Screen Junkies on TV Fights. That's on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. So make sure you watch that live. I do a bunch of after shows at AfterBuzz, but you can keep up with me at Roxy Striar, and I'll tell you everywhere I am.
Yay! Coy, do you have anything?
I'm going to read more comics, and Jessica Jones I'm so excited for. And hug your family on Thanksgiving. Like, family's such an important thing, and it's a thing that we don't talk about until we're older, is missing it. And I'm 27, but man, family's so important. I miss them so much. I can't make it home for Thanksgiving. I love you, family, and love your family, and spend as much time with them as you can.
He's so cute.
Isn't he the best?
I just like, it's really important. Like,
No,
nobody
it is, but it
appreciates it
is.
enough. We have like 12-year-olds to like 50-year-olds on our live chat. Every single one of them, tell someone you love them. Thanksgiving's a time for it.
Yeah.
It's an excuse. You can be as manly as you want and still say you love somebody on Thanksgiving. That's an awesome like, just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
What Coy said. I'm not even going to try to, like, why would I try to go like up against that?
My signing off is love.
I can be
Yeah.
as manly as I want.
Yeah,
That's
no.
what I learned from him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn
On
right.
Thanksgiving, be like,
Hey,
love
you know what? You know what? Men love.
Men love.
Men love.
Men
It's
love.
okay.
Channing Tatum for Gambit.
Yeah.
Men love.
Men love. Men are allowed to love.
It's true. It's important.
It's yeah.
Hug
So,
your family, folks.
Hug your family. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday. Go crazy.
Yeah.
I love Black Friday.
Oh, get
Oh,
out.
I'm
From
one of those
family
guys.
to the shopping and
Oh,
new awesome.
Back to
Man.
family. I love family. You guys are great.
So please don't forget to subscribe to our show on iTunes and on YouTube. It's Marvel Movie News. Rate us. Leave us a comment. Tell us how we can do better. Tell us how we're impacting your life. Tell us that you love us. We like love.
We like
Men
it.
love. Women love too.
people in general.
Men and women love. And that's okay. That's a good
It's
thing.
important.
That's
Sometimes
a good
they love
thing.
each other, and sometimes they love
sometimes
And
they
that's
don't.
how we make more
Yeah.
men and women.
Yeah. Men
That's
and
how it
women come
works.
from love.
Spoiler alert.
Love, love, love. Love, 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 love. At Matt Key, love. Love, love, love.
All you need is love.
Positive way to end the show.
Yeah. / Marvel News show on Facebook or Twitter is at Marvel News PTN. I'm Matt Key at the Matt Key. We've got
I'm Coy Jandreau at Coy Jandreau.
and our guest today was.
Roxy Striar. You can find me at Roxy Striar.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Goodbye.
Hashtag men love.
Dude, end the show with love.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.